fine. Okay, so today's topic is about soul consciousness. I think when Rakhi Ben gave me this, I told, oh my God, Baba, a very tough one. Well, let's try to simplify this. This is the foundation of our Brahmin life, soul consciousness. I will not give you a lot of thoughts from my side. I'll kickstart, and let's see what you all have to share. But I'll share a few things first from Baba's Murli as well. There are many Murlis on soul consciousness. Let me tell you, when I was trying to hunt, but I thought I'll just take only a few of them, so two of them. And before I go ahead in English we call soul consciousness generally, whilst in Hindi we have many different words for this. And I think we should not be stuck in the jargon of these words. I'll tell you a few words. One is Atma Abhimani Sthiti. Second is Dehi Abhimani Sthiti. Third is Videhi. Fourth is Ashariri. So on and so forth. So we just want to remember the basic difference, because sometimes when we do these classes, even offline classes, for many people, the question is, oh, can you please tell us what is the difference between each of these? There is indeed a little bit of difference between all these states, as I mentioned, the four ones. I'll just repeat in Hindi: Atma Abhimani, Dehi Abhimani, Videhi, and Ashariri. But rather than going in the jargon of trying to analyze what is the difference between these states of consciousness, it's good to remain in that consciousness. I think that's important. And when I say soul consciousness, it basically means to remain in the consciousness of the subtle being that I am. And the more and more I can become subtle, there it is, I can really surpass all these states and go into that. So even if I say, if in the Avyakt month, when we practice being Avyakt or being a Farishta angel, even that is an aspect of soul consciousness. So rather than going in the jargon and trying, because when we are analyzing so much in our heads of all these sthithis and all these states, we are still just thinking and thinking and thinking. We don't want that to happen. We want our mind to be concentrated in one thought, and that one thought is, I am a soul. We don't want to analyze what. But as I said, I'll just give you one big difference of Atma Abhimani and Dehi Abhimani. As all of us know, the soul constitutes the seven values, the seven original virtues: knowledge, peace, power, love, so on and so forth. So when I, the being, when I'm able to perform actions based on all these seven virtues, then that is called Atma Abhimani Sthiti. And this usually people say that it can happen whilst you are sitting in yoga. You have to specifically find out time for yoga. Whilst Dehi Abhimani, many people say, and let me warn you, I'll tell you the warning later, but many people do their own Manan Chintan, do their own churning. So many brothers and sisters say Dehi Abhimani is something chalte phirte, which means you're moving around, you're considering yourself to be detached from this body, and you're performing actions. That is Dehi or Videhi, either of that. Now, if you read Baba's Murlis, Baba has never said any difference. I'm speaking now of Hindi Murlis. Even in your Sakar Murlis, when you say daily, Baba says, Atma Abhimani hoke baithe ho, Atma Abhimani sthiti mein baitho, Dehi Abhimani hoke baitho, Abhi Videhi ho jao, Abhi Ashariri ho jao. So Baba never tries to analyze the differences between any of these states. So it's important to remember, just be in that state, just go in the being aspect, because as Brahmins, we are still not able to go in the being aspect. So let me just pull out a few extracts from one of the Murlis. I'll just see what I can share. Yeah, so this is one of the Murlis which I found from 2nd Feb 2004. Or rather than this, I'll give you this first. Yeah, let us look at this. So in short, if you want to, I'll read a few lines, but before I go, if I'm able to situate myself in any of the values of the soul, or rather, I must say the 7 original virtues. So whilst we say original, so we'll just take one, for example, love. From love, then you have many other aspects, respect, regard, so on and so forth. So if I can situate myself in my consciousness, I can use that I can hold on to that word love, for example, and try to use it in my behavior, in my actions with others. As Baba says, chehra chal chalan. Obviously, you can make out from someone's face if they are loving or not. And obviously, chal chalan, the activity and the behavior will show evidence of love. And here it reminds me, Mama used to say, Snehi bano, sahyogi bano. Snehi bhava, sahyogi bhava. So if you have the real spiritual love, what we say, the soul conscious love, you will become cooperative to everyone. So let's see what Baba is saying here. It's coming to the, I think, the second paragraph here somewhere. Yeah. So I think the pointer is here. As you can see, I'm looking at this. This Murli was specially addressed to the Madhuban residents, brothers and sisters. And I don't know whether it's revised, but it's of 8 October 2002. Rather than trying to give you my perspective, I think best is to go to what Baba is saying about soul consciousness. So I'll read from the last 4th line. Because souls are weak, when there is first law, souls become disheartened. So here it reminds me of Dadi Prakash Mani. She always says, the Asha Didi used to say, still says that she used to ask Dadi Prakash Mani, Didi, how to deal with souls? If we just give them soul conscious love, wo bigar jayenge. They will sit on your heads. They won't do the work. But Dadi said, no, Asha, it's only love, and love, no law. So that's what is Baba saying, that if you're using law all the time, the souls become disheartened. And if someone gets disheartened because of you, it's not a good karma. You all know that very well. And most important, that soul is damaged. It is not very happy with you. But when you sit in yoga and you want to become soul conscious, that soul will, which means it will pull you, because that soul is constantly remembering you in a negative way. And it can never happen that I have done something negatively in some way or the other. And that is the reason we say that unconsciously we do all sorts of vikarams, these karams which are not very good, the vikaram. And this big baggage of vikarams just goes on and on, it increases. So it is for my sake, I need to annihilate or neutralize that action of mine which I have done. Obviously, according to the law of karma, I can't neutralize that. I have done something, I have said something, my behavior has depicted something, and that soul has felt disheartened because I'm trying to prove that, oh, I should also behave with law. But when I do that, I hurt that soul, and that soul will pull me in my yoga. So for my benefit, at least, I need to make sure that when I sit in meditation, I'm not being pulled by these things. And this is just one soul. In the entire day, we interact so much with so many other souls. And so we need to be very careful who is pulling me, because if that soul is pulling me, my yoga will just be connected, and what will happen? I'll constantly ruminate on that, because I am not so powerful in yoga as yet, right? All of us do agree. And then even if one thought I create in meditation, oh, this thing happened today and that soul got this, I've already been pulled by that soul. So it's important to remember that. Then Baba says, when you yourselves become the idols of soul conscious love, you'll be able to give that love to others. Soul conscious love, not the other love. That's what Baba is saying. Soul conscious love simply means what? To cooperate in helping to find a solution to every problem. And here again, Baba says that amongst Brahmins, with each other, we don't need Gyan, lot of knowledge. Each soul is a Gyani soul. Each Brahmin soul of Baba is a Jnani soul. We don't need to really share knowledge with each other. But what we can do with each other among Brahmins is cooperation. That's what Baba always says. So cooperate, cooperate. See in whatever way you can cooperate. It could be as simple. Now I'll come to a suddenly another scenario. Now, for example, if you're having a Brahma Bhojan at the center for whatever reason, and if some soul needs cooperation, and if you are purposely not cooperating that soul in whatever way, because you have some tussle of sanskars with that soul, and if you are purposely not doing that, is that soul consciousness or not at all? So if I can be of help in some way or the other, I am soul conscious. And let me tell you, coming out of the Brahmin world, there are so many souls in the world who are non-BK, who are not having any knowledge about true soul consciousness, but they are still very cooperative. I'm not trying to compare BK souls and non-BK souls, but I'm just trying to say that people are very cooperative in the outside world as well. And imagine that I, being Baba's child, being a BK, I am not cooperating with another BK. And then why I don't do, because I have this in my mind. Oh, this one is still like that. His sanskar is like that. I don't gel well with him or her, blah, blah. All that commentary of mine starts inside. If I'm still in that mode, then I am worse than a non-BK soul as well, I feel. So soul consciousness doesn't really mean, because when we were discussing yesterday that look at each other's forehead and try to see that soul, the light, it's not possible. I mean, you can keep trying. If you're successful, it's very good, but it's not something physical. You look in the center of the forehead and try. It's more important is what is in your act, as in the next Murli Baba says, all those 4-5 things. Smriti, Smriti, Vritti, Drishti, and Kriti, these 4 things. Smriti is my awareness. What is it in my awareness all the time? If in my awareness I'm still having dash, dash, dash about this soul, I'm not soul conscious. Because Jaisi Smriti, Vaisi Sthiti. As is my awareness, so is my stage. And I really need to work on my stage. Second is, all of you know the vritti, that is attitude. Third is your drishti, which is the vision, what you have towards each other, your perspective, your perception. And the last is kriti, the action. So Baba is then further saying that if you can cooperate with souls, particularly amongst BK souls, because that people find, Brahmin souls find very hard, don't just give teachings. No one wants teachings actually. Together with teachings, also give cooperation. So if I'm able to give cooperation whenever, wherever anyone is asking me, and here comes what Baba says, being ever ready for any seva, whoever is asking you at any point of time, be it uh, for lectures, be it for Mansa Seva, be it for Karmana Seva. It's a big topic. You all know everything. If you're able to cooperate and being Hanji, playing the part of Hanji. Yeah, I remember yesterday Asha Didi was saying about nowadays what G is going on in technology in your mobile phone. Is it 4G or 5G? So all the Brahmins were saying at ORCO, it's 5G, Didi, now. So Didi said, yeah, I know it's 5G, but I'm speaking about Haji. Are you all able to do Haji? So if I am able to do Haji, which means I am just ever ready to do, to help, to cooperate, to lend my helping hand for anything, whether it be a lecture, Karmana Seva, Vacha Seva, Mansa Seva, whatever. And then Baba says that this is to become an idol of soul conscious love. So this is just one aspect which I have taken today of love, soul conscious love. So today Bab Dada is therefore specially underlining for all the Brahmin souls everywhere that become an idol of soul conscious love and become the bestowers and deities who can quench the thirst of souls for soul conscious love. Here's the other aspect, trying to read the pulse of the person in front of me and trying to give that person what he or she wants is also soul conscious. If I'm able to know what that person needs, and if I can give that person, like if he wants peace of mind, he's come to me for that. And if I can situate myself in that consciousness that yes, I'm truly a peaceful soul, I'll radiate. And one thing we need to remember that we don't need to say, I am radiating rays of peace, I'm radiating peace, rays of love. I don't need to say that inside. I just need to situate myself, be a peaceful soul, be a loveful soul, and then automatically you'll radiate that. So this is one, and I think I'll take the second. Then I'll share a little bit from my side, and then we'll take yours sharings as well. I know this, I'm supposed to facilitate, but I'm still doing a lecture. I'm so sorry for this. Let me just take this quickly, and then we'll start with your sharings, and then if I get time, I'll share my aspects. So, okay, so let's take it this paragraph. Now, this is of 2002. Yes, no, this is of 2004, 2nd Feb. And here we go. Now, I'll go on to the second line. Okay, let's read from beginning. The second line, Baba says, underline two things specially. I am here if you can see the pointer. I hope, I'm sharing the screen. I hope you all are able to see what I'm asking you all to see. So for this, underline two things specially, it's here. Underline them even more. Firstly, look at every soul with your soul conscious vision. So, Meri Drishti, but someone is writing something in the chat. Hope there is for me something. Yes, thank you, Om Bhai. Excuse me. So, here Baba catches us on our soul conscious vision. And again, it is not trying to look at that Jagmag Jyoti. It's very difficult, but for the purpose of to make it easy, Baba has said that Birkuti beach mein dekho. Just look at every soul, because if you try to look at the face of the soul on different aspects, you will tend to become body conscious immediately, because someone's eyes may be very attractive. Then if Shilu Didi, I remember she says, don't look at anything beyond the forehead and the center of forehead, because if you go eyes, nose, lips, so on and so forth, the more you go down further on the face and then beyond the neck and all that, all the vices have started already coming in. So therefore, my vision should be that. And yes, it reminds me here of, I don't know which Murli was that. Yes, it was 31st December. And correct me if I'm wrong, when we revised it, not we here, but when Baba, the Bap Dada Milan, 31st December, that this Brahma, and even I think 18 Jan Murli was also about that this Brahma Baba, before I entered into him in 1936, Shiv Baba says that this soul has prepared so much for him. Diarrhea bhardi. He filled all the diaries writing that so and so is a soul, Yashoda is a soul, Radhika is a soul, Narayan is a soul, Puttu is a soul, all the entire family members of Brahma Baba is a soul, is a soul, is a soul. I mean, what is the need to write so much? Yes, we need to write because we still in the Sakar Murli also, Brahmins say, why does Baba still keep saying daily, consider yourself to be a soul and remember me? That's because this first part, the first lesson of the Raj Yoga is still not so pakka with us. So therefore, we're here to remind us. So look at the soul in the form of his original sanskars. So here you go. So I'm having some problem with someone. I'm not able to gel well in sanskars with that soul. Baba says, what is the soul conscious vision? It's not so easy. You are a soul, I a soul. No, it doesn't happen like that. What does Baba say? Try to look at the original sanskars. First, before looking at others, try to be situated in the original sanskar. As I said, those 7 virtues. I am the soul full of love, peace, knowledge, power, so on and so forth. And not just having a commentary inside, but try to feel that value or feel that virtue. And once I myself am situated in that original sanskar, only then will I be able to see the other soul with all those original sanskars. And then I'll be able to forget what he or she has done with me. No matter what type of sanskars that soul may have, your good wishes and pure feelings and elevated feelings for transformation for every soul can indeed transform the sanskars of that soul for a short period of time. That's Baba is saying. That is so brief. It will only happen because my consciousness is for original sanskars only for a brief amount of time. We all agree in the entire day we are not able to be in our original state because we topple up and down. So I need to have, and this is Mansa Seva, I need to have good wishes and pure feelings. And we really speak a lot about Mansa Seva very casually, but Mansa Seva is a very tough subject, I feel. All of us experience that. Pure feelings, good wishes can only emerge from a soul who's fully soul conscious, who's situated in the virtues, original virtues all the time, if possible, and also is such a Shaktishali soul. All the 8 powers of the soul are also fully in an emerged way, not a merged way. It will only then transformation take place. That's what Baba is saying. And lastly, I'll say, you saw in the beginning, when all the dadis were there, that even by staying in the gathering, Sangathan, they had soul conscious vision, a soul conscious attitude, and the awareness that a soul is meeting another soul. A soul is speaking to another soul. And their foundation became very strong with this vision. But now, with the expansion of service, and because of a connection with everything in terms of growth of service, interacting, speaking, and coming into contact with others, the soul conscious feelings have become a little bit merged. So everything has become so expansive. Our fourth subject has taken more precedence than the second subject, Seva, Seva, and Seva. But we forget Seva, may more important is Swa Seva. Trying to be in that, be in that, be in that, rather than the doing mode which we have. These feelings haven't completely finished, but they have become merged. So the self-respect of soul consciousness easily enables a soul to achieve success. And you are those same deity souls of the previous cycle, the same Brahmin souls who have gathered. And in the form of Brahmin souls, all of you are elevated souls. So in this one line, Baba says that you are so sresht, you are so elevated. And therefore now, do service, no doubt you will never Brahmins, what we say, Brahman Jivan Ka Shwas. I think last Sunday Murli was there. The breath of the Brahman life is seva, service. So obviously we can't stay without service, but start with the Swaseva, with the yoga that, and try to just use these 7 values and 8 powers. Keep using it in your mind, and then you will become soul conscious. That's what Baba always says. So I will just stop sharing here the screen, and let's see what you all have to say about this topic. You all can share your experiences and challenges as well. Over to you all.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Divine Family. And that's wonderful, Murli. And one thought I got is that everyone has a challenges. And challenges means that you are rightly said. Then the seva. Brahmins is the first quality is the seva. And when you serve people, serve selves. First you serve self, then others. So it is very good. And also there is a challenge. Suppose there is, I want to also share that. Suppose transformation. Suppose 80% are the. Suppose I want to transform the people surrounding with us. The and is जो कहा जाता है ना विकारी soul surrounding with us all. But we have to certain positivity in there. We have to find out. And you are rightly said that the connection when are connecting with people and coming with us, so what we see in them, so that is very important. So good wishes and good feeling, what you feel, if you feel positive or negative, so that is also very important. and I am also means this experiencing, and when I'm practicing also. So what I'm practicing, that whenever I meet any soul is coming in my contact, so I just look at him and just find out the what is the good quality in him, not whatever is suppose in suppose 99% is if he bad, but what is the first there's a one quality that's make him. So that is I'm doing. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, a powerful Murli and powerful Vichar Sagar Manthan, Bhaiji. And now the challenges which I am facing is that again, then Baba says Nirantar and uh, Nirantar Atma Bhimani Sthiti. So one practice which which I following recently is that I'm in Paramdham in combined states with Baba, and from there I am looking down and looking at the earth where this role is being played, and that Sakshi Sthiti, that here on earth in corporeal world, it's just that I'm like a puppet. It's a puppet show going on, uh, which is a source of entertainment, and I am with Baba. But this happens only for very flash seconds, and uh, for few moments, and thereafter I come back and get involved with the puppet show. So now that's the challenge. And then again, I take, bring back my consciousness, my awareness. Oh, I am again broken the Sakshi Bhav and again got involved, and let me again go back and go back to the with the director. Let me be combined with the director and see the act with a Sakshi Bhav. So what is your practice, and what are your challenges, Bhaiji, and how to overcome? Any tips on that? Om Shanti.
Option. So for me, also I know that it's a journey, and in this journey, I have to practice going back to my original nature. That's understanding what is Murli. Baba is trying to take us back to our original stage, and I understand that I have unknowingly learned this body consciousness. And as we know, not just learned, but also practiced a lot, right? So um, the body consciousness has become natural. So learning something has become, something is easy because we have already learned. So now the part of unlearn started, that is going back to the original stage. So anything we have to unlearn. I mean, technically there is no unlearning because once we have learned, that will always remain with us. So we'll have to replace it with something else. So that practice is right now Baba is doing. So like Ompai rightly said, I also practice it as in when we get this Murli, start reading Murli. So a lot of points stay with us that sort of help in order to stabilize in that stage throughout the day, sometimes not, but often we forget when we come into action, right? So the experience that I get when we are in that stage or when we try to stabilize in that stages, yes, that limited vision and unlimited vision. So when we are, limited, the vision limited in the sense our vision, helping mentality, all that vision, right? So that will be wide when we are in that soul conscious stage. That's what experience that we get. Our attitude towards someone is open, nothing to when somebody is there to support us, or when we are supporting them, we are like very open. But when at the same time, when I'm not in that stage, then trying to see somebody's defects, he's like this and I'm like this, that is his quality and this is my quality. So that happens. And I don't stare at somebody in their forehead to stabilize myself in that stage that he is a soul and I have to look at him as a soul. No, like Manoj rightly said, it's an understanding. According to me, also it's an understanding behind the scene that I understand he is a soul when I talk to him. So when I maintain that awareness within myself, right? That's what helps me to see him as my brother, right? To see, to interact with him as my brother. That's when I become unlimited. I kind of keep giving, giving, giving. So I understand we have to practice this a lot, like Brahma Baba did, right? He wrote diaries after diaries, diaries after diaries, because he knew that he also has learned this body consciousness unknowingly. So he put that much effort to wipe out all that and made that drishti natural, right? How he has learned it by practice. He showed us. So I think we also have to follow the same path, but everybody's situation is different. So each one of us, will have to find out or will have to work on ourselves to apply this in our personal, day-to-day work. So that will be each one of us will have to work on create their own script within themselves and then put it into practice on their day-to-day life. That's what is my understanding. So therefore, over a period of time, the consciousness will change. My understanding is that, and I'm going ahead with that journey. Manoj, bhai, you can add on, when you share.
Oh,
Yeah, Shanti, thank you.
yeah, but carrying on from wonderful sharings which you all are doing, carrying on from Vijit Bhai's sharing and even answering, trying to answer, not answering, and trying to answer Om Bhai's question. So I would rather say that body consciousness will always remain because we are in this iron age surrounded by people. But I'll give you an example that from my practice, and each to his own. I'm just quoting it from my a perspective, and I'll give you an example and tell you how how I am able to practice soul consciousness in my profession. So here I would say that body consciousness will always remain because as doctors, we treat bodies of patients. But rather than body consciousness, I would rather say that move from role consciousness to soul consciousness. So here I would like to say that whenever we do the values workshops, the Vihasa values in healthcare, a spiritual approach, that's the seva I'm instrumental for. And there's a module which we do on compassion for medicos, for nurses, pharmacists, all the healthcare professionals. And this is a very common thing which comes out in the sharings on compassion is empathy and sympathy, and a very common debate that as doctors or healthcare professionals for that matter, should we be empathetic or sympathetic? I hope you all can put it in the chat box because not everyone will be able to share orally because time is coming to a close soon. So empathy means wearing the shoes of that person, means trying to feel the pain of the patient. Whereas sympathy is just acknowledging, I know that you are in pain and I am there to relieve your pain. So there's always a big tussle, a debate. People argue, no, we should be empathetic. We should be able to feel the pain. Then the other party says, if you feel the pain of the patient, in the end, yeah, see, I can see people are saying empathy, both the brothers who had shared in the end. But the thing is, I would rather go for next argument, which I'm trying to tell you that if I keep consuming everyone's pain, in the sense I feel the pain of each and every patient, from 9 o'clock till 5 p.m., what is the state of my mind? I am in full pain, and that is not doing any good to me. So then those category of people say, oh, let's be sympathetic, not empathetic. So I simply tell them one thing, that let's try to be, go beyond this awareness of empathy and sympathy, because I am still in this awareness. That's the first word Baba has taught us, smriti. What is my smriti? That he or she is my patient, I am the doctor. So what is this consciousness? It's a role consciousness. So I then tell them that let's transcend from role consciousness to soul consciousness, which means, I mean, not just tell them, but explain them what this means. Simply put, that I am a soul playing the role of a doctor, and the person in front of me is a soul, again, playing the role of a patient. So here immediately I transcend, I really elevate my consciousness to such a level, and all my ego dissipates in a minute. Because when I say I am a doctor, you're a patient, there is still this subtle ego inside me that, yes, you know, I'm a doctor of the physical body. I know what is happening with your body, and you better listen to my advice, blah, blah, all that. So I can go in that mode. And then sympathy, empathy will go off again for a ride. And then I've gone into a different arena of ego. So compassion, the word I tell them is going from role consciousness to soul consciousness, transcend. I am a soul playing this role. That's a soul playing the role of a patient. Let me now, with this consciousness, try to treat the patient. And this way, then I emerge Baba's presence in all this. Because the moment I consider myself and someone else to be a soul, it is only then that the supreme soul consciousness also emerges. Because, you know, in Urdu it is said, khud ko nahi jana to khuda ko bhi nahi jana. Unless and until, and Baba also says, I'm in this soul conscious stage, I'm not able to invoke the supreme being. And once the supreme being comes in, then there are no karmic accounts left at all. Everything becomes zero, because he's a zero. And that invoking of supreme being is a challenge, and that can only happen once I start with this soul conscious. So moving from this role to soul consciousness state, I think this is the way we can implement in different relationships which we have at home or at workplace, wherever you are, even among Brahmins. Because amongst Brahmin also, if I'm working in so and so department in Madhuban, the other is working in the other department, these department clashes happen because we have identified that, oh, I am the head of kitchen, I am the head of store, I am the head of literature, so on and so forth. So if I can get down from this role consciousness to soul consciousness, I can then truly be compassionate to the person. And then, as I said, sympathy, empathy, all this will not come. So I think this is what I wanted to say. And yeah, so I hope this answers whatever questions you all had. Well, as I said, you're all knowledgeable souls. You don't need any clarification or any more knowledge from I, the soul, because Baba has given all of us a main teacher is Baba, the supreme teacher. And he tells us definitely all that. Yeah, so Sister Balwinder, thank you for sharing that I'm still working on lesson one. All of us are still working. But remember, many souls say, oh, it's a work in progress. Very important. I'll give you an example, a funny one here, that when something is going on the road, the traffic, the roads are being built and it is written work in progress. There are diversions and all that. So you expect that after some point, 6 months, 1 year, the road will be built, right? But all the time on that road, if it is written work in progress, you really get frustrated, right? So I think what we should do is, again, as Bijit Bhai said, carrying on that it's work in progress, but make sure that we are on a journey. I'm much more ahead than yesterday, and that I need to check for myself. So just don't keep saying again and again to self, oh, I'm work in progress, I'm work in progress, because you're not going anywhere if you're just saying that. So it's fine. We are all working. She's saying that working on lesson one, that is seeing, stabilizing, and operating from my original stage during daily interactions. Thank you, Sister Balwinder. So if we have some time left, someone else can share. And yeah. Okay, so she's saying yes. No, I will declare. You can share if you can very well speak. So please unmute and speak. And that will be the last sharing if someone else wants to share. So she's saying it's not work in progress, it's work done. Over to you, whoever wanted to speak.
Om Shanti. Anushka, I just want to ask that we always when we are soul conscious, we always embrace positivity from others. But what do you mean by soul energy? How can we radiate that energy to others?
So, if you're so you the answer is there in your question itself. So if you're thinking positive, you're radiating positive. Whatever I think, I radiate, right? And before radiating, I don't even realize I'm radiating. It'll just go out of me. If there's an agarbatti, you'll obviously get the essence of that incense stick. Same thing is before that, whatever I think, I start feeling. So these two things are very important. The way I think, I start feeling, and whatever I think, I start radiating. So when I say the soul energy is radiating, you don't have to think of it. If you think of radiating, you just create the thought of positivity. You're already radiating positive energy, and this is all is happening in the soul, and the soul is an energy. So we don't have to think of radiating something. You create the thought, automatically it radiates. So I hope that is a bit clear now.
Yeah, thank you.
So if Sanjay Bhai wants to share, you have unmuted. Yeah.
Okay. From the start, we're talking about soul consciousness. What I feel that just to have something inwards, Baba always talks about that transformation within. But we being in the Sakar world, we have got a lot of surroundings. So we can try in that way also, that we always try. We do Maun Bhatti and all that. That is just a way of transforming the surroundings, or making our surroundings the complete silence. That's called Sthu silence. And we move from Sthu silence to that Sukshma silence which Baba talks. Because it's just a journey basically. You cannot change yourself completely to the soul conscious state. Because what happens, Uncle? Because what happens, you cannot change yourself basically. It's just a process. You have just, as we say that, Madhuban ja rahe hain. Madhuban ja rahe hain. It's a स्थूल journey, but Madhuban ja rahe hain. Transforming become sweet ban rahe hain. Madhuban ja rahe hain. That is called a स्थूल journey के अंदर में एक सूक्ष्म journey है. So this सूक्ष्म journey is required. Even we are in a स्थूल silence, that complete silence, that silence within that is required. As because what we feel that silence means what I've understood, that no disturbance outside, no disturbance inside, no mismatch outside, no mismatch inside. The inner mismatch which Baba talks about, that what is our Maha Mantra also, Om Shanti, A, U and Ma, Achan, Ucharan and Mansa. If Achan, Ucharan and Mansa are synchronized, or we can say that if we become same, ek saman hota hai, then we are synchronized, and that silence comes automatically. As it is said that if Achan, Ucharan and Mansa are three brothers, and they are giving the property, and both are, and all are getting the same, that is same, that means the silence, the disturbance is nullified. So what the process for getting complete silence within, that what Baba talks about, soul consciousness, that the inner part, that the Achan, Ucharan and Mansa, if all become same, that what we think, what we speak and what we do, if we can do the Purusharth, making it same, we are moving towards the direction of soul consciousness. As what I have understood about, when it is silence, S stands for soul conscious. And when it is soul conscious, S stands for silence. The silence within, that is soul, in silence, S is for soul conscious. And because the outward silence and the inner silence which Baba talks about, that silence, first letter S stands for soul conscious, and I for inward journey. What we are always busy in that outward world, and we transfer and we randomly wander from here and there, even in the mind, that Baba talks that no outward journey, inward journey is required. And the and the third letter L says lawful and loveful. What Baba has said in the Murli, and what Baba has talked about the Srimat, if we are following it line by line, word by word, that is lawful. And E, ensuring that yes, I am following Srimat or not. And Nirakari, Nirvikari, and Nirahankari. And C, very, very careful. Yes, I am following Brahma Baba line by line, word by word. And the last letter E, you excel. And in that process of complete silence, you reach to a state of soul conscious state. You can consider soul conscious state to the state where you become Bap Saman. And when you become Bap Saman, your drishti, vritti, kriti, everything changes, and even kriti changes. And in that process, self-transformation takes place. And when the self-transformation takes place, definitely the world transformation takes place. So, see, this is itself now going as the Tapasya Mas. So we can refer the text, the real text, how Brahma Baba did that. It was very nicely said that Brahma Baba always practice Yashoda soul, hai, everybody is soul. But the real Purushat, what Brahma Baba did, was that even we can understand by the word Brahma also, be for Bap or Balihar and Wafadar. If we can also try to become Wafadar and Balihar to Baba, we are moving one step towards soul consciousness. R for responsible. If we consider ourselves responsible, that yes, I have to make Baba Pratyaksh. So in that process, we do the Purusharth to become Pratyaksh. Or A, adorned with divine virtues, as Brahma Baba did, adorn himself with all the divinities and divine values. And that you have become very, very honest. Yes, as Brahma Baba was honest, I have also to become honest. If I am committing any mistake, I have to accept it. Okay, accept it, check it, and change it. H and M, Manmanabha Madhyaji, Brahma Baba nullified all the mapan within him. And in that process, last letter A is he became the real Ananda and he became real Agyakari with Baba. I think that if you can follow the process which Brahma Baba did, we can follow the footsteps of Brahma Baba did, definitely we can reach to a state which Baba wants us to become Master Brahma. I think I have tried what I have understood about soul conscious from Brahma Baba and the Murli and with the song of great dadis and big brothers. Om Shanti.
So thank you, Sanjay Bhai, for sharing so elaborately. And it was wonderful that rather than saying in Hindi, Madhu ban ja rahe hain, Madhu bane hain, where we become sweet. And Sister Balwinder is resonating on that. And the last thought, which I thought I wanted to share, is picking on that point from Sanjay Bhai. Asha Didi has mentioned many times that never was those days when Dadi were there was anything called Maun Bhatti or silence bhattis or being in Maun. Because what happens, this can sound very, it's good if you can practice external silence. But what happens is people, I'm not only trying to say that young people, anyone in Madhuban we see wearing those Maun badge or silence badge, and they then don't speak. That is good. But then the dadis never used to do this because that is not something very natural. In the entire day, if someone comes and asks me for something and then I become disturbed inside, as Sanjay Bhai was saying, silence inside, silence outside means not getting disturbed. So the moment I get disturbed, I'm moving away from soul consciousness. So people really try to force themselves not to speak, and then they start writing it down. That's fine. You can write it down if you want to instruct someone. But dadis never had this because dadis were very naturally soul conscious. If someone is wanting some task to be done by you, and then you tell them like that, I'm in silence, I can't do that today. You're really not cooperating with them. You're not of any help for them that time. So it doesn't really match with the soul conscious energy. So fine, it is good to practice once in a while going into Maun and not being, but don't be so strict and don't be so rigid with yourself that if someone is asking for you something, and if you can help them, and you are the one who can do that job for them that time, if you can't do, they will get disturbed, remember. So it's important that we try to make soul consciousness something a very natural part of our life. Let it be a natural rhythm rather than being very rigid and forcible. No, no, I'm practicing Mon today. So that's what I wanted to convey, because the Dadis never did that. Right. Okay. So with this, I think we are coming to a close. It's 5:52 India time. So let's practice some meditation, and the perfect topic for today being soul consciousness. So I'll give you a few thoughts. Is it okay? Shall we close the discussion, or anyone wants to share something? Yeah, Rakhi Ben, go ahead.
Which way we can move ahead in meditation.
Okay. Okay, thanks. So let's relax, sit back, enjoy the music, and create some beautiful thoughts. Take a deep breath in and out and relax your body. And see the gentle rhythm and the regularity of the breath. And as you do so, your mind starts getting more and more focused and concentrated. And now try to situate yourself in this pure consciousness of I being the soul. And see what emerges within. I, the peaceful being, the loveful being. In the moment, create this consciousness consciously. I get connected to the source, to the ocean immediately. As if Baba is there waiting to pull me. Baba, the ocean of peace, love, and all the values. I submerge myself in this consciousness of the Supreme Soul and feel that energy coming from Him. The energy of pure love, peace and happiness. With this Supreme Soul consciousness within, let me come back and try to spend my entire day as much as I can in this divine consciousness with the Supreme Being. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Manoj Bhai. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Till that time, have a wonderful day.